You ready? Okay, great. All right, Peter for Black-Eyed Susan. And we have Corposo. Talk about how this filly shipped in and how essentially how she's been doing all week leading up to the ES.
There's been no surprise how good she probably would ship in because she's got a great mindset and she doesn't really get too excited about too much. She was a little tired after the trip. I noticed that yesterday, but seemingly this morning she's got her energy back and she's going to go to the track in about a half hour. So yeah, so far so good.
Perfect. Just talking about her preps, her run in the Santa Anita Oaks. So what essentially was the main motivator to run her in the Black-Eyed Susan?
Well, I mean, for us, the Black-Eyed Susan was kind of like in our eyes, anyways. You know, not knowing what the horses from California were going to do, not knowing what was going to come out of the Oaks in Kentucky. So she just trained so well. You know, her first work, second work, and third work going into this week because we were contemplating running in the summertime Oaks in about 2 weeks, but the way she went her last work, we just said why not, and now we're here.
Okay, I love it. What do you think of your post position?
You gotta love her post position. A mile and eighth, you got a lot of run to the first turn. She's fast enough to put her wherever Tyler decides that he thinks is the right place, and I couldn't be more pleased.
So you're going to let Tyler do his job, and that's great. But in your mind, what would be the perfect trip for this filly?
Clock your speed, and it's kind of hard to say who that's going to be. I mean, your outside horse on our outside could show some speed with Joelle. But I mean, I don't like to draw a map and hand it to him in the paddock, so I just, you know, we'll have very little conversation, more socializing.
Perfect. What will be the main part? What do you think will be the main topic of talk when you're in the paddock, since you're talking about socializing?
Well, I mean, if we talk about her, it's just going to be she likes being on the outside. She'll enjoy that part of it. She's tactical. She's somewhat relaxed most of the time. Other than that, if we talk about being social, I don't know. I don't know him that well, so we'll maybe get to know him a little bit.
Okay, when was the last time you ran a horse here, Preakness weekend?
We ran. She's a warrior in the Black-Eyed Susan quite a few years back. She was stakes placed at Santa Anita in Grade 1, and so she didn't really handle it here that well. She was kind of a slight filly, didn't eat well. And it was a really hot day, as you know how it can be here sometimes. And she just literally melted. But she's a broodmare now, and you know she's having a good life.
Perfect. Are you, clearly you're not concerned about the distance, about trying for this distance here today at all, because she comes from a little bit of a family of sprinters.
Well, yeah, I mean, her half-brother was a very good sprinter. But I think the sire line gets her this distance, you know, and her mindset gets her it too. I mean, we ran her in a sprint her first race. She drew an inside draw. She ran a good fourth. Then her next race, she ran a huge race, going, you know, second start going into a mile already, and she ran big. And I don't think she ran as well into the Oaks, but it still was, you know, good enough to come here. I mean, I think she bounced off that second race a little bit, but.
Okay, I was going to ask, what do you think? What was the big, you know, talk a little bit about the Oaks, but you kind of covered it with her. Do you think she just physically bounced? Anything else that you thought maybe, hey, this wasn't quite perfect in the Santa Anita Oaks last time out?
Not especially. I think the winner, Bob's filly, got the trip of trips. I mean, they left he had the speed of the race, and he left a nice doorway. I'm not taking anything away from her. Don't get me wrong, but I think. Had it not been his horse on the lead, that would have covered her up, and she may not have liked the, you know, the dirt in her face. But all in all, I can't take anything away from my horse. She may have hung a little bit the last 16th or so, but again, it was a different class of horses. It wasn't a maiden race, so we took it as it being a nice effort, and the way she's trained lately. So we say, why not?
Why not, indeed? And so, how great would
Attention trainer, Suzanne Stinnettis, contact the Corposo scales, please. Suzanne Stinnettis, contact the Corposo scales, please.
So, coming in now. She's going well. Everything's going great. How would it feel to be winning Black Eyed Susan after, kind of a little bit of a comeuppance after the last time you were here for the Black Eyed Susan?
Well, winning the Black Eyed Susan would be amazing for her resume. To do it with a friend I've known for 40 years, Nick Casato, it would be pretty good.
All right, we'll take it.
Okay.
Perfect. Thanks so much.
My
That was great.
pleasure.
You were
Anytime.
great, as per usual. But I'm sure you're very